Hello everyone. Today I'll be explaining the plant divisions and plant diversity. This presentation will further explain the evolution and classification of plants. First of all, let's talk about the plant characteristics. They are multicellular eukaryotes, photosynthetic autotrophs containing chloroplasts, non-mobile, have cell walls made from cellulose, and it responds to the environment and grows through the use of hormones. Years ago, plants were multicellular green algae. They were completely immersed in water. They had to overcome many challenges, including how to get chemical resources, how to transport resources within the plant itself, as it differs if it is terrestrial or water-based, how to prevent from drying out, and how to reproduce without water. The solutions to these problems were gaining body parts that can extend to both air and soil, developing a vascular system to transport resources within the plant, have a protective layer to keep it from drying out, and specialized structures for reproduction. And now to classify plants. They can be classified by whether they have or don't have three things: a vascular system, seeds, and flowers. Firstly, they are classified by the presence of the vascular tissue/system. If they have a vascular tissue, they are called Tracheophytes, and if they don't, they are called Bryophytes. Bryophytes are the most primitive plants, meaning that they are the earliest plants. They are found in moist areas, have no vascular tissue, so they are small. They also have no roots, stems, and leaves. It needs water for reproduction, and it reproduces using spores. Spores are a waterproof single cell that can grow into a new organism. Most common examples of bryophytes are mosses. Here are the moss plants. The spores are present inside that capsule. Also, as stated before, underground and above ground parts solve the nutrient problem. Now to talk about tracheophytes, the ones with the vascular tissue. It contains two types of specialized vascular tissues within the plant. One, the xylem. This transports water up from the roots. Two, the phloem. This transports food made during photosynthesis and nutrients to where they need in the plant. This can be also called source and sink. These tracheophytes' vascular system allowed plants to become tall. And finally, these plants contain roots, stems, and leaves. Now, the second classification, seeds. We will first talk about the seedless tracheophytes, which are ferns. Ferns are seedless vascular plants that grow in moist areas, have roots, stems, and fronds, and reproduce by spores. Here's a detailed diagram for ferns. Now for the seeded vascular plants, they are divided if they have enclosed seeds. Gymnosperms, containing naked seeds, and Angiosperms, containing enclosed seeds. Before we go further of those kinds, let's talk about the reproductive advantage. It does not need water to develop and has many elements that helps develop it. Here are some examples of gymnosperms. Cycad, which is the sago palm, ginkgo, and conifer. In this slide, I'll explain more about conifers. The most common gymnosperms are conifers. Conifers have leaves which are called needles or scales, and they have a reduced surface area and a thick waxy coat which prevents water loss and freezing. Now for reproduction. Male conifers produce pollen while female conifers produce the eggs and the seeds. Pollen is transferred by the wind. The scales of the female cone scatter the seeds in the wind, then mature. When they are mature. Angiosperms contain enclosed seeds. They are flowering plants and have efficient pollen transfer, which is the opposite from the gymnosperms, which have inefficient pollen transfer. They contain pollinators, which are insects, birds, etc. They are the things that transfer pollen. Females have ovaries, and the fruit is created when the pollen and ovary develop. Finally, I'll talk about the different types of seed dispersal methods. There is wing fruit to glide the seeds. There's floating fruits which can float as the name suggests. There's fleshy fruit which is eaten by animals, then is excreted in the feces of the animal. And finally, the spiny fruit, which attaches itself to animals to transfer its location. Thank you for watching.